I'm Madeline from Machine Slings, and this is the Manduca Twist. Manduca make a few different carriers and slings, including the Manduca XT, which is one of my all-time favourite carriers. But the Twist is their half buckle carrier, and it's quite different to a lot of the other half buckles on the market. And despite having this carrier for about 2.5 years, I've actually been sort of actively putting off making a review because despite having it for about 2.5 years, I still haven't completely made my mind up about this carrier. But let me take you through it from the bottom up, talk all about its pros and cons, and then hopefully that'll help you make your mind up about whether or not this would work for you. So the first thing to say about it is, as half buckles go, it's actually really quite compact and really quite lightweight. It's quite a small carrier, and it's really lightweight. Let's start at the waistband. So we've got a nice mediumly wide, not overly wide, mediumly wide waistband, but you'll see it's really very lightly padded. It's really soft and squishy. So yeah, not at all bulky, not at all stiff, but you can see as it goes on, it moulds around. So whatever sort of shape and size you are, it just sort of moulds around to give a really nice fit. We've got quite a bit of webbing, not absolutely loads, but quite a bit. You can see on me, it would go down a fair bit tighter, so it goes down and fits petite parents really, really well, and it would go out relatively wide to fit maybe not the upper end of plus size parents, but certainly fluffier parents would find this would fit for them. And yeah, this waistband's super comfy, feels supportive, but doesn't feel like I'm wearing loads. And then what's really different about the Twist is this sizing thing. So I don't know if you can see this, we've got this sort of pouch part here. And if I come up, it goes through this pouch part through to these bits up here, which so I can pull more fabric through and make this seat really, really, really very large indeed. Or conversely, I can fold it up, pull some fabric back through here, like so, and make it really very, very, very small. Let's just tuck that a little bit. So now if I grab a newborn sized doll, my doll's probably the size of about a 6-week-old, I can tuck that and you can see I've got a really lovely seat for my newborn doll, and it will go smaller than this, as this is a carrier I find fits really well for newborns, in that you can get a really nice, if they're really squished up and their legs are really close together, we don't have to open them up very far. We can get a really nice small, we can carry on folding to get this really whatever size they need, so they don't have to be able to spread their legs, and that is really, really nice. And then and you can see if I pull this fabric through, I can make this back panel shorter or longer. Again, so this one twisting system allows me to adjust the width and adjust the height, just through how much fabric I have in there, how much I pull through. And it's interesting because the tensioning on this carrier, so a lot of half buckles, you have the panel, you have an adjustment system for the width and the height, and in terms of how you use them, it's a lot more like a buckle carrier. You sort of set it up, but how you use this one in terms of the tensioning, you much more shape it to and around baby, and it's much more similar to how you shape a woven wrap. So I often talk about how half buckles are like a halfway house between a buckle carrier and a woven wrap. They give you that soft wrap feeling with the intuitiveness of buckles. Well, I think what's different about the Manduca Twist is it sits closer to wraps on that spectrum of being halfway in between. You've still got that nice secure buckled waist, but and you've got the tied straps that you would see with other half buckles, but how we're adjusting and tightening this panel is more similar to how we do we tighten it with a wrap. And then when we are adjusting this, you will notice, so I have the gold side up. We actually twist this material, so now we have the black side up. And again, this is to do with how we're going to tighten and how we're going to adjust this sling. So I'm taking the strap over And now you can see I can really tighten this up and really adjust it to get a perfect fit on my back. And again, the same thing on the other side. There we go, and there. And so actually when you get used to it, it's really, really, really simple, really easy, because we just come around to the front and I can then tie this. So I'm just going to pop over my baby's legs, although if I had a super tiny newborn, I didn't like the feeling of that, I can come under the legs and then I can tie a knot. I can just tie it in front of me, just 2 knots, like that. Voila. So either over or under the legs, whatever feels more secure and more age appropriate. So, what's this carrier good for? Well, as I said, it works really, really, really well for newborns. You can see we've got this lovely head support pillow. We're able to really adjust to get a perfect bum fit. And it will grow. And as I showed you, it will grow really large. Although this bit that goes up and down, when you have an older baby who likes to get their arms out, I think a lot of parents with older babies are finding that they will push this down. And they can push it down sometimes to a point where it doesn't feel as safe. So I'm finding a lot of parents who are trying this are finding that they really like this carrier to about 9 months or so, but then past 9 months it doesn't feel quite as supportive, it doesn't feel quite as safe. This carrier can be used on the front as I'm using it, it can be used on the hip, and it can be used on the back. But I think because a lot of parents aren't finding it quite as supportive or finding it quite as safe past 9 months, I'm not finding a lot of parents are actually doing that. And because you tie it to you, it's one that fits a lot of different parent shapes and sizes. I'm going to show you the length of straps I've got left. I should say this carrier does come with 2 length straps. So I purposefully chose to have the short straps. And I did that because all my other half buckles have very long straps, and something I hear over and over again from people is, oh my God, they're too long, they're too intimidating. So I purposefully got short ones with this one. But if you were a larger size, you can get the longer straps. And that will give you a bit more play. Or if you prefer to be able to tie behind you, I actually quite like tying right underneath because it's faster. And I like not having too much dangly bits. So in terms of what I can't make my mind up about this carrier, well, when I first got it, and the part of me, the bit that I really, really like is I love the simplicity of this adjustment system. I love the fact that you adjust the height and width together through these twists, and that it's really simple to get that pull out, to get a perfect seat, and to get that adjustment through the twists. I like that this carry and how it feels emulates a woven wrap carry called Kangaroo Carry, and this is one of these where when you are listening to reviews and so forth, it's important to understand people's individual biases. So my favourite woven wrap carry is the Kangaroo Carry, and this carrier effectively really replicates that quite well into quite an easy to use carrier, and that's quite different to other half buckles where you don't have these twists, and the carry feels more similar to something like front wrap cross carry or a buckle carrier but with tight straps. And so yes, I really like the fact that you've got that easy adjustment system, or for me it's easy, and it gives that feel of the Kangaroo Carry, which is something I like. However, as I say, this is individual biases. From working with thousands of parents, I know that quite a lot of people don't like Kangaroo Carry. Some people don't like how it feels, how it restricts their arms. Some people just don't really get on with the twist, it melts their brains. Some people don't like the feeling and how it loads on their shoulders. In fact, I would say quite a lot of people don't. I am one of those people that really love it, and so when I've tried this carrier, I've gone, oh, I really love it. And then I've given it to other people, and I have watched people completely struggle with this sizing system. I have watched people really struggle to get that great tucked in seat and adjust that. And adjust this for different size babies. I have watched people struggle with babies pushing this down. I have watched people struggle with the tension, because unlike other half buckles where it's a bit more obvious and you just tighten it, this one relies on more tightening, more precise tightening to also shape the panel for baby, which others don't. And so this is where I can't make my mind up. Like, if I had just bought this just for me and used it with my children, I would probably love it. But having seen lots of parents use it and really super struggle, I worry about it, and I originally got it and I thought I would retail it, and I've actually made the decision that I won't, because it just doesn't work for a wide range of people, and I don't want to recommend somebody something that I'm not 100% certain they're going to get on with. So that's my conundrum. I think also the other thing that stops me being really loving this is that longevity. So in theory, it could last up to 3 years, but I'm finding most people don't get anywhere near as long out of that. In theory, you can use it on your back, but I'm finding in practice, this works best for newborns to 9 months. It's not giving anything like the longevity of other half buckles, such as the Lenny Lamb Hybrid, such as the Neko, such as the Caris, such as the Didymos Klick. I feel like I'm missing a really obvious one there. But any of the others in my library, the Stokke, all of those last so well from about 6 weeks through to 2, even 3 years of age. And this one's only going to 9 months. Yes, it is cheaper than those others. This is £85. A lot of those others I've just listed off are between £120 and £150. So it is cheaper, but then when you multiply that by how many weeks they're lasting for, this doesn't seem like such a good deal. It's lasting less than half the time. It's more than half the price. So yeah, not 100. That's my other kind of con with it. I'm not 100% certain that it lasts quite as well compared to some of the others. What it is good for is if you want a half buckle that works really well with a newborn, then I wouldn't hesitate to recommend this. And if you are happy doing that adjusting and that tightening differentially, I'm going to show you that a bit again, through the shoulders, so rather than literally just yanking the whole strap, instead sort of tightening the top, middle and the bottom separately. If you're happy with all of that, then this is a fab carrier for newborns up to about 9 months. But if you're looking for something that's going to last longer and offer a bit more flexibility, then I would probably check out one of the other half buckles we have in the library. As ever, if you have any questions, any worries, if you want to rent one of these and give it a go, or if you want to rent a different sort of half buckle, please do drop me a message. And don't forget to like, subscribe. Bye.